Could we define it as Simon Sinek, start with why, like someone's why as a big impactful part of their brand, maybe?
That should be the start.
Yeah.
That should be the number one thing to do first.
What happens when it's not, Carlos?
That's where you need to start.
But I'm saying
don't jump ahead.
What happens when it's not?
Fail.
Tell because without the tension of what happens when it's not, I think people skip over it and you just do it anyway. So like hearing the stories that you would have encountered about people that, hey, I went the road, but I didn't know who I was. I didn't know my brand, and here's the fallout.
Yeah.
Eventually, they're going to have to get to it.
Yeah.
To answer it.
Yep. Yeah. So the conversation today about AI, I'm telling you, if you're not using it, you're missing out.
Okay.
Yeah.
That let's jump on that statement.
There it is.
Let's jump on that statement. If you're not using it, you're missing out. Let's define use.
Yes.
Let's define use. Treat it as a Google search. A glorified Google search.
That's 90% of the people are doing that right now.
Correct. Okay.
And they're the ones who are like going to be left behind, I think.
Yes.
Because they're not like, build this.
Okay.
Pushing the limits,
So then first step, what's the first step to elevate your game beyond that? That's what I think people need. People need to understand what the first step is. How do I make that step? How do I take that step?
I think understand the platforms or even the limitations like that came up with the dates, like the year, like what kind of information is stored and what it's providing. If you go in there blind and you're using it's the glorified Google, or your therapist, you're just getting just a nugget. You don't know. So I think step one is know the capacity and its limitations. Know the platforms.
Okay, so let's talk platform real quick. But go ahead.
Well, my advice is go into Google, whatever your favorite search engine is, and type this. I am new to AI. I have no idea what it can do for me. This is what I do. Teach me or give me information on how I can use it. And you will find a lot of free stuff, specifically videos or experts, and they can explain you and give you the 101, give you the basic explanation, and start working your way up. Just by Googling that, especially if you're brand new. If you already know, if you're already using AI and you think you got it, then just say, well, I started using it. I use ChatGPT, I use Gemini, I use whatever, but I want to know how much more can I do. Same thing. That should be your prompt. And I guarantee you'll get a lot of information that can point you in the right direction to learn more and to understand more. Then you can do exactly what you just said. Like, now I understand more. Now I can say, now you can basically do a strategy.
Yeah.
How can I use it? Not only in my business, but in my personal, in school, and whatever it is that you're doing.
I think you answered the question of what? What does a person need to do? What do they need to know? You're answering the question of how. Here's how. You need to start with a prompt. Prompt doesn't even necessarily have to be to AI. You can just ask Google, and Google's AI will automatically just kind of give you some stuff on top of having the videos beneath it in its search request or whatever it is. So I think, okay, and this is it. When you talk about that prompt, what I think is fascinating is it's so much better to allow an engine to ask itself the question based on what you're needing to find out.
Yes.
So it's not like you're going to generate a great prompt, but if you ask the engine, whichever engine it may be, to come up with the prompt for itself on the basis of the context you're giving, that ends up creating something even better. So it's funny because I think how you came up with that was a good prompt. And I don't think everybody is not gifted at understanding the right question to ask. I remember a mentor saying to me, he said, Darius, questions are the way out. And he would tell me that because he was always trying to say, walking in any circumstance, thinking that you already know the answer, you're probably wrong. Because there's just a lot that you'll need to understand given the wide range of the circumstances. You'll need to start with questions. But understand that questions are your way out. That's the way that you get to the better place. But the next level of that is, do you understand what questions to ask? Sometimes, do you even understand how to ask the question? And I think that's what we deal with when we're talking about AI. More times than not, do we understand how to ask the question? And when you gave the prompt a moment ago, that to me was the right way. One, it was the right prompt. You didn't even have to necessarily ask a question. But and whether it's the right prompt or not, I think it's the right prompt. I can tell you sitting here today, I don't know if I could have asked it that way to get right to the heart of the solution that I need, right? And so that's a skill in and of itself. So I think there is some intimidation that's probably real and experienced by people. I hear all the time, hey, the smartest people are not the people who are running and owning businesses, and successful businesses no less. It's just people that had the courage to get out there and go do it and to stay in it. So hopefully that can be an encouragement to people who may feel a little bit of intimidation approaching AI, approaching the different platforms that there are to use. And there are so many. But let's talk about the platforms, I guess you'd have to call it the big four at this point, and maybe it's bigger than that. But I'm thinking Gemini, which is Google's platform, ChatGPT, which is OpenAI's platform, which, by the way, OpenAI, Gemini, obviously, it is using its training data is Google's information, which Google has like the most of the world's information that we know. ChatGPT, on the other hand, operates on Bing. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so it operates on Bing. And then you have, I guess, I wouldn't say it's third down the list. It's just third on the list right now in terms of how I'm saying this.
Claude.
Anthropic.
Mm-hmm. Anthropic.
Claude.
By Anthropic,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So Anthropic has Claude. And then the fourth on the list, I'm guessing, is probably Perplexity. And I don't even know what Perplexity is. That NVIDIA? Who has Perplexity?
I would challenge it. I think it's Copilot.
Do you
Microsoft.
really? Okay, wait. Let's talk about that in a
avoid
second.
Copilot.
Let's talk about that in a second. I think my father-in-law was asking me something about Copilot, and I was like, that's not
Alex Walker brought up Copilot too.
Did he really?
Yeah.
How interesting. Okay, wait. I need to know, who is Perplexity though?
I have no idea.
Let me ask Chat.
Ask Chat. Just Chat GPT that real quick.
Hey, Chat's going to say, I don't care.
Why are you asking?
I don't care.
I can imagine. I don't concern myself with lesser
Privately
models.
owned.
Yeah, with key backing from Jeff Bezos and NVIDIA.
No way. It is NVIDIA then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool.
I used
But
it
it
for
is
a
its
while,
own
but
company.
Yeah. I like the sourcing, research. I liked it for research.
Yep. And it gives you its sources no matter what you prompt it. When I have to prompt ChatGPT, a lot of times I have to say, hey, and provide the sources. I mean, at least I used to, and now it's a little bit better, but Perplexity was always, or at least since I used it. Okay, Copilot.
So if you use Microsoft 365 or you use any Microsoft apps, Copilot would be the go-to for you.
Really?
Because it can do a deep dive of everything.
Oh, yeah.
So for the same reason people like Gemini, if you're using Google Workspace, it
Because
has
it
a
can get
lot
into-
of...
It's in your
It's all the
workspace.
same platform, right? And that's why Carlos said he liked it, is because he works off of Google.
Got you.
Right. So,
Oh,
But
I'm sorry,
I've-
he liked Claude.
I've done
Jose liked it.
Jose
Yeah.
did.
Yep.
Yep.
I've done spreadsheets
Yeah.
using Copilot that are out of this world. You know,
What are you saying? Are you saying that you have...
Because you use Excel. Most of your stuff was in Excel.
correct. Yeah.
Does
But
it
then
build out
I took it to
structure for you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
As well as informs what needs to go where?
It goes even farther than that, and then you can use that to create Power BI, because Power BI is also
No
Microsoft
way.
dashboards.
Sorry, guys,
and
I
it
just
does it
nerded
all
out.
for you.
That's data analysis.
And then, it's awesome. It's amazing.
That's really cool. Yeah.
So it is easier to create a dashboard for them. They'll be able to access it really quickly.
Can it write? Like Claude can write?
Yes.
So, like, you know, how Claude's better than Chat when it comes to conversational writing.
I think it's just as good.
Okay.
I don't use it a lot for that. But yeah, I tested it, and I'm just scratching the surface of what Copilot can do.
Yeah.
If
'Cause
I'm-
that's fairly new.
Yeah.
If I'm OpenAI, at some point, I'm getting perturbed because everybody keeps having this conversation where they're saying, Well, Claude it writes better copy and all of that. Where while my experience with it does pretty good. Claude does pretty good. But I'm saying if I'm OpenAI, does that get under my skin enough to where I want to begin addressing it? Or do these different power players in this game, do they just own what they do well instead of trying to compete across the boundary lines with their competitor? Do you own your lane, or do you try to own all the lanes?
I think they try and compete on different playing fields is what's going to happen. I think
at some point that's what it's going to be.
When Claude, and I agree, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm using 3 right now. I'm
Same.
using ChatGPT, I'm using Gemini for different reasons, and I'm using Claude for different things.
Yep.
But I would say, Claude from a copywriting perspective, when we talk marketing and human to human, messaging, I think it's doing a great job. But I think what we'll see between all of them is different land grab plays for different things and exponentially different things that we're not even thinking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
New things that come up as this ramps up even faster.
Yep.
OpenAI just made a huge multi-$100 million purchase of a company that's like a media company. Nobody's talking about that. There's a reason.
What do you think the reason is?
I mean, I'm in the media space. I get it. You can own a narrative potentially. If you go a certain way, you can also have access to a lot of information, which seems like that's what they've been interested in.
And they're also, I don't know, do they launch the advertising aspect of it all? So you're going to get ads.
I think ads are already happening, right?
And you're going to see that.
Who's the one that said that they're not going to do ads?
Anthropic.
I'm glad.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe.
They had the big Super Bowl commercial about.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
I think some people left chat when they found out they were working with the government too, because then that's access there too.
Right. You talking about the fallout? Mm-hmm. No. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
So well, then Anthropic made some really good, I would say, goodwill from a marketing PR perspective by saying, hey, Uncle Sam, we won't work with you because of private.
And I saw a lot of people jump from chat to.
And they were the first ones, in my opinion, who made the big land grab by saying, "Oh, we made a prompt for you. You can just come on over, bring us all of your info." Which arguably it's not all your info.
I was gonna say it wasn't that good because I did it and I was like, "Is this it?"
But they were the first ones, first to market. Sometimes not necessarily the best play, but sometimes it's mic drop,
Yes. I think that's the hard part too. So again, for business owners, it's man, how do you navigate these waters to determine what you're going to do? But I think it's better to understand your stack, right? That's something that I've been hearing in the space lately is what is your tech stack now, with regard to AI, and people will say what they use everything for and be like,
that was AI jargon, by the way. I like that. What's your tech stack?
What is your tech stack?
Based on your tech stack.
You've been talking to him quite a bit.
It's pretty good.
So we were nerding out beforehand before the meeting today. And
you're doing this for SEO and AEO and GEO.
We were nerding out.
Throwing all this in.
I'm literally just people that we're meeting today and just ideas that are, coming up from those meetings, and you start realizing, oh, there is a language, and you start speaking a little bit of the language. But I do think for business owners, the idea is understand, what's your stack, what are you trying to accomplish? But I think what you said today was really good in the meeting. Is look, all of this is really great, but if you don't know who you are, it really doesn't make a difference, because I think then it goes back to the ability that you just shared and showed in terms of the ability, asking the right question or the right prompt. That can only come from a person who is very much actualized in who they are, which you are as that kind of a coach for sure. So it's easy. It flows from you. I think people need something, business owners specifically, to help them understand where are they on the journey of development of their, can we just call it brand for a moment? But it's deeper than that. It's deeper than your brand. And, whatever that is, your brand comes from that. And the ability to understand it well and to stick with it, then you can ask the right questions, because the question has to, whatever it is, it has to be able to relate back to, accentuate your brand representation to whoever it is that you're trying to reach.
Could we define it as Simon Sinek, start with why, like someone's why as a big impactful part of their brand, maybe?
That should be the start.
Yeah.
That should be the number one thing to do first.
What happens when it's not, Carlos?
That's where you need to start.
But I'm saying, what happens?
Don't jump ahead.
What happens when it's not?
Fail.
Tell because without the tension of what happens when it's not, I think people skip over it and you just do it anyway. So like hearing the stories that you would have encountered about people that, hey, I went the road, but I didn't know who I was. I didn't know my brand, and here's the fallout.
Yeah.
Eventually, they're going to have to get to it.
Yeah.
To answer it.
Yeah. And some people kind of get to that point. Well, Simon Sinek got to that point. That's how his brand was born, because he burned out. He was a very successful business owner, but he was unhappy because he didn't know why. He was doing what he was doing. Mm. Right? And to me, that's you can skip all of that and you can be very successful and have, very successful companies, and you're still miserable because you're not doing your why.
What's crazy is that I know, I've had to be in a space where what we deal with, we call it identity, like the ability to know your identity.
That's it. That's your why. That's your why. You have to understand, and it can't be money. Money is a result.
Mm-hmm. You might have to say that one again.
But yeah, it's
that.
Speaking of AI, I think the one of the very important things nobody has brought up yet is that you also have to know when to stop, because you're gonna fall into the analysis paralysis, because it is going so fast right now that you're gonna get a new widget and say, "Ooh, squirrel! Let me check this one out. Let me check this one out." And at this point, they're copies of the Big Four.
Oh yeah.
Right. So you might get a different color. You're like, oh, I like this better, but you're getting the same thing, like the same concept, the same. It's going to be very hard, in my opinion, to come up with something completely out of this world. You're going to say, wow, yeah, this is brand new. I think they're already there, and I think we're a little far away from that next big thing.
I don't know,
but I think Google will probably be ahead of anybody else.
You think so?
I think so, yeah.
I would agree, like, this is a huge, impactful, tech development for humankind versus, like, the automobile, planes, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, in terms of innovation, I think it opened the aperture and the exponential growth that no human can comprehend right now of where we'll be 3 years. Like, people will throw out a timeline and say, oh, well, within 2 years, XYZ is going to happen. But, like, we don't know because it's so rapid.
Yeah, and I think it'll be more specialized. So if you're an engineer, you have AI for engineers. And if you do this, you're going to have, and I think
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
But if you're a small business owner that don't know how to use AI and you're just starting out, to kind of do your research, ask the questions, ask help, and then get to a point where, okay, this is good enough for now, and stop. Master that, use that, and then just kind of stay informed. But if you go into this vicious circle of trying something new every time, you're never moving forward in your business, because you just keep trying stuff. You don't let anything work. You don't let everything, sit and do its thing long enough. You see the result. Whether the result were bad or good, you need to wait for it to have results before you can jump to the next thing. And I think a lot of us, I'm guilty of it as well, is that I jump ahead. I don't give it enough time. So this is not going fast enough. Like, wait, you haven't even given it a chance, right? But I do that all the time to this day.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking the other day. Like, okay, I gotta wait. I gotta be a little patient, until I get true results and true data where I can actually make a decision and say, you know what, this doesn't work. And maybe it doesn't matter why. It may be because I did it wrong, right? Now it's time to try something else. But until you get to that point, if you continue to just, let's try this, let's try that, let's try that, let's try that, you're gonna get stuck, and you're gonna hate AI.
Man, I talked to a business owner the other day, and he has a is it locksmith company, and he had done so many things really well. I admired him truly, but at one point there was an aversion to AI in his business, and even just hearing somebody recommend some things for him to leverage using AI so that he doesn't have to lean on a coach the way he might think he needs to in a time in his business where the coach may not be what he needs right now. What he actually needs is to like shore up some loose ends on things that are immediately in front of him. And then from there, then maybe let's talk about what does it mean to have a coach and have somebody to walk alongside you. You know, it's not always the answer for everything. But it was interesting, you know, his aversion, which is, you know, that it just reminds me of the people that don't want to use AI or that are, you know, kind of standoffish. But I hear in what you're saying, I hear two things. One is the reordering of what are the steps that a person can take as a business owner with regard to how they engage AI, and it's a reordering of the steps. And you're adding to the step this idea of, I think you said, when is it too much? So that you avoid things like shiny object syndrome. So I would take the steps and I would say, you mentioned earlier, where we mentioned, there's one, know your identity. Like you have to understand your why, the business that you're in, who you are at your core, and that be able to influence and inform your brand first. That's the first thing, because then the next thing that you probably need to understand, and you didn't say this explicitly, but I picked it up in what I heard, and that is know your domain very well. Like, I think that there's there is the potential, there's the possibility, no, there's the reality that you have a business owner who just happened upon the industry that they're in.
Many of them.
And maybe they're doing well. That doesn't mean that you know the industry.
Correct.
That doesn't mean that you understand the subtleties and the nuances that could give you a win here or that may cause a loss over there. So the second thing has to be, you better know this domain. And if you don't know the domain, do everything that you can to learn it as efficiently and effectively as possible. And if that includes using AI and learning how to do some prompting, that's okay too. And that's where that third thing is, what you were saying, the two of you were saying combined, which is know the platforms, know what's out there. And the way that you ask the question is, hey, I'm new to this. What would you suggest I know and or learn about AI, the platforms available to me, right? That kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. And then I think from there we get to tack on how you really want to shape it. So that might be a decent approach. Any changes to that? Anything that we should take out, add in?
How do I find my why?
Ask it to prompt, I guess. I don't know.
Wait, do you want, here's the thing, you're saying prompt, and he's asking a question, and I'm going.
You can ask me questions. What do you need to know to know my, and I think
you're thinking about using AI. I'm not thinking about using AI to answer that question.
But I think if you're trying to figure it out, your why, or how your why and AI work together, I usually just say, ask me more. What do you need to know? Because it kind of makes me go a little bit deeper. Yeah. Or I can be really lazy and be like, no, I don't like this. I like this. I don't work with these people. This is my why, surface level why.
Which is still helpful.
I need to know if I'm not getting the right results later. But I need something to kind of maybe prompt me to go a lot deeper. So I do say to my systems, I'm like, ask me, what else you need to know? What am I leaving out? You mentioned gaps, in the past. What do you need to know? And I want you to be my harshest critic. Like, you don't know me.
So it's
more
brilliant.
prompting than a one question.
Have I done that? Absolutely. Do I feel a sense of some kind of responsibility? I don't know how to necessarily articulate it, but I feel this thing where I'm like, wait. Some of this I probably should know this. Like, this is a go take a walk.
Yeah. Can I tell you a story? I got a text from my client. She's like, I want to let you know someone called me because an employee quit. Oh. And it's all your fault, in a joking way.
Oh.
But what it was is she's about to launch this course, so we started talking, and I said, well, let me start building up your brain because it's been dormant for a while, and it's not the way you wanted to go. So we worked on her persona. We did exercise on her, basically her why too, because she had to figure out exactly who she wanted to work with, who she wanted to coach, what angle. You can't go broad. You know, I was making her really dive deep.
Yep.
And I had to get in her gut too, and what's your big picture. Then it was like, now we figure out who you want to work with, and this, and now your content is going to talk to these people. So for months, we worked on copy and you know, her on-camera work, posts that I've helped her with, carousels, everything. Well, apparently, a couple people had been already looking and watching and following, and then it tapped into their why, because I made the content tap into their why, question their whys. You're feeling stuck. Why? You're feeling stuck. Don't get overwhelmed. Take one step. Breathe. It's going to be okay. We'll figure this out. We were just kind of building that steam to her launching her coaching program. And one lady already did it. She's like ready. She quit her job. She's opening a business. And she didn't even launch it yet. Like, announced that this is what I'm doing with women, mainly women at a certain age group who are just ready. And so... But apparently it made someone question their why.
Yeah.
And then go, okay, I'm done with this.
I'm not
I hate this job
continue in
now.
this.
I'm
Yeah.
out. And
Dang.
left. And she was like, just wanted to tell you thank you. I was like, it worked. But it took a while.
She didn't have AI. I mean, she did. What she had was you.
She had me and,
saying?
she had
Like, I
me
feel
and
like-
AI because I had to feed it. This is my client. This is who she wants.
Okay.
But I had to ask her to go deep too.
Yes.
That's an industry expert informing the client how to use AI, or structuring it to where you're using it on the client's
I
behalf.
was going to say
but
yes.
it's spearheaded by the human in the loop who has that depth of
And I
knowledge.
think you're still going to need that human.
Human in the loop is big.
Or you go surface level, unless you really take the time. Like some of the guys in the room earlier, they're taking that time. But a lot of people aren't. Maybe they're too busy, or they just don't, they're not as tech savvy. They're not
or they
having
think
these
it's
conversations.
learning
Right.
and it's all knowing.
And it's
in
not.
real time.
Yes, exactly. So,
You kicked the hornet's nest there.
I did.
I feed it, and then I spit out a report and say, this is you. So if you ever do content on your own, which you should be doing, this is how, these are the words you need to use and everything. This is the way who you're talking to. I need you to call out your client, your future customers. I want you to mention it. If you're a woman 35 and older and you're stuck, that's how I want you to start. I want you to call them out. So it helps because here's your document. Now follow this. This is your homework.
Also great for social media for just
Yes.
letting the algorithm do what it does.
Go, and then you repurpose, you make it a blog, you use it in your newsletters, you use it when you're networking, and it's in your elevator pitch. You take all that.
Okay, so then the answer to Carlos's question about how do you find your why?
Yeah, there's many frameworks you can use. AI could be one of them. I personally use Ikigai.
I didn't think you were going to say Ikigai.
So the
But what I
Ikigai-
thought you were going to say was, it felt like something that was more by natural means. So like with me, I would have been like, okay, wait, let me go take a walk. I got to think about some stuff.
That's your Ikigai.
to get this thing this moving about why.
What she just described is Ikigai.
It's Ikigai, but in techie form.
Yeah,
It's techie
It just,
Techie
but ideally, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's just. Are you guys familiar with that?
Yeah.
Have you used it?
I haven't used it.
You will love this.
Unpack this more. Let's hear it.
So Ikigai is the word in Japanese for your purpose of being.
That's really good.
So you have to have 4 lists. What you love, what you're really good at, what you can get paid for, and what do you think the world needs more of. Now, this is the secret, but you have to spend a lot of time and dig deep into this list. Don't just come up with a list, right? It took me about 4 weeks to complete mine.
Carlos,
And
it
then-
took you 4 weeks. I remember you told me that.
And this is, and they recommend that you ask people that know you, but not necessarily your immediate family, because they're going to do it out of love and just going to tell you what you want to hear.
That's right.
So you want the brutally honest.
Unless you're Filipino and they
Answer.
tell you what they think.
Yeah. True.
Or Korean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll tell you.
So, and you create this 4 circles. They interact with each other.
I'm married to
And the
her
one in the
for
middle
a
is going to be your Ikigai, right? So once you start doing this list, then to me it's a process of elimination because your list should be pretty big. And your list needs to be very real and very personal. So to the point where it's not just about work or business. It's very personal. It has to be very personal. So what do you love? Well, I love beer. I love specifically craft beer, right?
IPAs.
I love chocolate. I love spending time with my wife. I love coaching. I love teaching. I love learning. I love traveling. So start putting all of this and if you're having a hard time getting to that point, take a walk. Take a walk or start thinking, okay, when was the last time I was doing something and I lost track of time because I enjoyed it so much? Well, there's something you love.
Chocolate beer resort retreat for couples
Oh God.
and
there's
executives.
some good-
For executive
executives.
couple, man.
Wait, what is
Yes.
so good?
Like there's some good beer that like had that chocolate or coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Anything like coffee based, I'll drink it so fast I don't
Yeah.
even realize it. Oh,
Something milk stout.
yes.
Something like I can't remember what that beer was called. It's pretty
There's
good.
some-
So once you
I'll
go
try
through
any
that
of them.
process, start getting those lists and put like your top 10 of each list into each their own circle. And from there, you start process of elimination until you have your like top 5 that go in the middle. That's your Ikigai. So the idea is that the closer you are to that in your business and your life and your purpose and your job, that's where you're going to be really happy and you're not going to basically going to be live a purposeful life.
Yeah.
So that is just a tool to find your why.
I think it would be cool to combine what we're talking about here and do something that you showed me earlier today. Matt built.
Keep
I'll
it
let you
decent.
tell
Keep it decent, please.
It was early in the
what did he
morning,
show
and
you?
I was low on sleep. So
That is such guy culture. That's so.
We were getting a little
I
emotional. I
freaking
had to
love
break
it. Carlos is like pause. Like that's.
I need to
getting-
drop in something real quick.
Okay, so you were.
Matt showed me something this morning.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We
Okay,
don't want to know.
you built something using AI, and I'm thinking about how clean and seamless it was. A plugin. Matter of fact, that's what's crazy is that you used AI to build a plugin
Yeah.
to use somewhere else.
Nice.
And I think, man, is this one of those things that for business owners who are struggling with step number 1, which is finding your why? Is that something that, man, just from this conversation, we can go feed this transcript to AI and say, build us something for users to be able to
Help find their why.
Ikigai
Like super automated.
on the
Absolutely.
on your platform. And that's something that I'd love, getting the transcript from this and then being able to feed that to our.
I'll have it to you by tomorrow, 3 p.m. We'll send it out to everybody who didn't scan the QR code this morning.
That's right.
Right on
yeah.
top of that, Riz.
Yes. Oh, man, that's rich. I like that.
Totally
Yeah.
doable.
I'll share with you guys my Ikigai.
What is that?
And no, I'll send it to you.
Oh,
I'll email it to you.
I
My
thought you were going to
final-
say it
We're all
right
like-
now.
My final
leaning-
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And then,
everybody wanted to know.
But I mean, you probably by now if I ask you, you'd probably guess, right? So, teaching, coaching,
Yeah.
traveling,
Yep.
Dang,
yeah.
food,
Beer.
beer. Yeah, this would probably be so anything to do with that. So, a dream is I would love to own my own microbrewery. Because
Seriously.
it's part of my Ikigai. Absolutely.
Carlos.
Remotely
Yeah.
that you
Do
have to
it. I
visit by
wanna
traveling.
We're,
visit.
No,
Yeah.
we will be an integral element to
Yeah.
the manifestation of this
And
dream.
because I like traveling, I want microbreweries in every place that I go to.
Boom.
So,
That's awesome.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's what that is. But I also share, there's a guide that I found in how to do your Ikigai. So if you guys want to do it,
Yeah.
I'll send it
Wait,
to
you have
Share.
you said a guide?
It's a guide, yeah. You just follow those
Share it.
prompts, follow those questions, and it'll help you build your Ikigai.
I like that.
Neat.
All right.
Yeah, I'll email it
Can
to
you
guys.
spell it? Does
I
it
can't.
can anyone spell
Is
it?
it
No.
Ikigai? G-A-I?
G.I.
G-I? Yeah.
Who was the author of that book? Do you remember his name or her name?
I don't at the moment.
For which one? The
That-
Ikigai?
The Ikigai?
It-
It's a Japanese person.
Correct.
It's
But it was popularized how many years ago? Roughly 5 to 8 years ago, maybe.
yeah, because that's how I heard about it. It was part of the brain work thing where you will read books or get the synopsis, and then
Yeah.
that's where
But
I
it's
first heard of it. I'm
always
like,
been
oh.
in the Japanese culture for centuries.
I
Yeah.
didn't. Oh yeah. Okay. Yes.
But
yes,
they
yes,
just
yes.
made it into a thing.
They
recently.
marketed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right
Right,
after
because-
Tom
and
Cruise
I
came out
personally-
in the samurai
I
outfit.
personally, probably, yeah. Or The Great Wall with Matt Damon, one of the worst movies ever made.
Both of them the worst movies ever made.
Oh my God.
Both of them. The
I
worst
learned
movies.
from, I follow this guy, Matt,
Damon.
my
Sorry.
guy,
I'm going to see the book.
Matt. I was going to say Matt Nelson.
Matt McConaughey.
Matt Gray, maybe? Yeah, Matt Gray. I really like his philosophy, the way he is. So I learn a lot. Everything that I do on LinkedIn, I learn a lot from him, kind of
Yeah.
follow his philosophy, his
Yep.
methods. He's the one that talk about his Ikigai. And I'm like, what the hell is Ikigai?
Mhm.
That's how I learned it. And I just dug into it, and then I thought it was fascinating.
I'm going to take that and run with it. Not to
And it
monetize,
helped
but I
me.
think that'd be a phenomenal
No, it's
lead
a-
generator and value add.
100%. It's a value add, man. Like, so if you're a business owner and you're out there, and one, you want to grow your business. It starts by growing yourself, and growing yourself is understanding your unique identity. And I think the Ikigai is a great, it's a
tool.
great tool to do that.
Yeah.
And it's a first step to take if you are going to jump into the waters of AI. Great first step.
If only we had had that conversation in July of last year.
We needed that.
I
for
could
sure.
have punted so many prospective clients who became clients that we ended up letting go
Uh-huh.
just because they weren't ready and they weren't there and they didn't know their why.
That's really scary. To hear it coming from you guys is scary. I tend to be a person who I start out trusting despite all of the reasons that I probably have not to trust, but I start out with trust.
Yep.
And I almost give it too freely in the sense that, oh, okay, you seem to be professional. I'll listen to you. I'll hear you out. What you got to say? And then we'll go with it. And then we'll find out later on. Somebody else will be like, bro, you trust? Why, like, what do you trust them for? I was like, well, I mean, I don't know. They didn't give me a reason not to trust them, until the last thing that they just did,
You're talking about somebody specifically, right?
You know what's funny?
A few somebodies?
I wasn't, but now I wasn't initially, but now I feel like I'm being challenged to think of somebody specifically, and I can think about 4 or 5 people that I just trusted and thinking they know what they're doing. And the reality is, it's like people say all the time. It's like, hey man, we're all figuring this out. Like, people don't know what they're doing. They're out there and they're giving it a go.
But it's so much easier to tolerate, to endure, and to be consistent once you know your why.
Yeah.
Because that's your main motivator. You just remember that, go back to that,
Yeah.
and say, okay, this is why I'm doing this.
You
People
can
are paying
avoid the things.
$1,000 People are paying thousands of dollars a month for like nuggets like that.
Yep.
Well, it's free 99 here, right
Yeah.
here.
It's
Boom.
free 99.
Just hit that
Yeah.
like and subscribe button.
Like
Don't
and
forget to hype this
subscribe.
episode.
Do it now.
Yeah.